Please subscribe to our channel SAF Production and hit the bell icon to get latest updates.
Hong Kong, officially the Hong Kong Special Administrative Region of the People's Republic of China, is an autonomous territory on the eastern side of the Pearl River estuary in East Asia. Along with Macau, Guangzhou, Shenzhen, Zhuhai, and several other major cities in Guangdong, the territory forms a core part of the Pearl River Delta Metropolitan Region, the most populated area in the world. With over 7.4 million Hong Kongers of various nationalities. Note 1, in a territory of 1,104 square kilometers, 426 square miles, Hong Kong is the fourth most densely populated region in the world. Hong Kong was formerly a colony of the British Empire, after King China ceded Hong Kong Island at the conclusion of the First Opium War in 1842. Originally a lightly populated area of farming and fishing villages, the territory has become one of the most significant financial centers and trade ports in the world. With the exception of the Second World War, during which the colony was occupied by the Empire of Japan, Hong Kong remained under British control until 1997, when it was returned to China. As a special administrative region, Hong Kong maintains a separate political and economic system apart from mainland China. As the world's seventh-largest trading entity, the territory's legal tender, the Hong Kong dollar, is the 13th most traded currency. Hong Kong's services-dominated economy is characterized by competitive simple taxation and supported by its common law judicial system. Although the city boasts one of the highest per capita incomes in the world, it suffers severe income inequality. The territory features the most skyscrapers in the world, surrounding Victoria Harbour, which lies in the center of the city's dense urban region. It has a very high Human Development Index ranking and the seventh highest life expectancy in the world. Over 90% of its population makes use of well-developed public transportation. Seasonal air pollution from neighboring industrial areas of mainland China has resulted in a high level of atmospheric particulates in winter. The name of the territory was first spelled as Hong Kong in 1780, and originally referred to a small inlet between Aberdeen Island and the southern coast of Hong Kong Island. Aberdeen was an initial point of contact between British sailors and local fishermen. The source of the Romanized name is not known, but it is generally believed to be an early phonetic rendering of the Cantonese pronunciation Hungong. The name translates to fragrant harbor or incense harbor. Fragrance may refer to the sweet taste of the harbor's fresh water influx from the Pearl River or to the incense from factories lining the coast of northern Kowloon. The incense was stored near Aberdeen Harbour for export before Victoria Harbour developed. Sir John Davis, the second colonial governor, offered an alternative origin, claiming that the name was derived from Hu King, meaning red torrent, reflecting the color of soil through which a waterfall on the island flowed. Regardless of origin, the Treaty of Nanking indicates Hong Kong Island using this name, which has referred to the entire territory ever since. The simplified name Hong Kong was frequently used by 1810, though it was also written as a single word. Hong Kong was common until 1926, when the government officially adopted the two-word form. Some corporations founded during the early colonial era still keep this name, including Hong Kong and Shanghai Hotels and the Hong Kong and Shanghai Banking Corporation. The region was first occupied by humans during the Middle Neolithic period, around 6,000 years ago. Early Hong Kong settlers were a semi-coastal people, living near beaches with small bays or lagoons. These inhabitants migrated from inland areas, bringing with them knowledge of cultivating rice. This supplemented their mostly seafood diet, evidenced by the large number of excavated marine animal bones. Pottery and stone tools from this time suggests a cultural continuity with other cultures in the Lingnan region. 8 petroglyphs dating to the Bronze Age were discovered throughout the territory. On December 8, 1941, the Imperial Japanese Army crossed the Shamchan River to attack Hong Kong. The invasion was part of a coordinated military offensive against the Allied powers, coordinated on the same morning as the attack on Pearl Harbor. The Battle of Hong Kong lasted for 17 days, through which British, Canadian, Indian, and local colonial units defended the territory. Believing the Japanese would attack from the sea, the garrison concentrated its efforts on holding Hong Kong Island. The troops were not prepared to defend the mainland portion of the colony. Despite an inevitable defeat, Governor Young persisted with the island's defense. Prime Minister Churchill insisted on prolonging the battle to give other colonies more time to prepare for their own imminent invasions. With the garrison unable to further mount an effective defense, Young surrendered the colony on Christmas Day. During the occupation, local residents suffered widespread food shortages and strict rationing. Forced currency exchange to Japanese military yen caused hyperinflation. Starvation and deportation reduced the population from 1.6 million in 1941 to 600,000 in 1945. Over 10,000 civilians were executed and more tortured, raped, or physically mutilated. The Kanpiatai were especially notorious for their exceptional brutality. Public beheadings were routine at Kings Park and Chinese residents were often used as target practice. 75. Some residents fled to Macau, which was relatively untouched as a colony of neutral Portugal. A few of these refugees further found passage to Allied territory. After almost 4 years of occupation, Britain resumed control of the colony on August 30, 1945. Hong Kong is often characterized as a hybrid of East and West. Traditional Chinese values emphasizing family and education are blended with progressive Western ideals, including economic liberty and the rule of law. Though the vast majority of the population is ethnically Chinese, Hong Kong has developed a distinct identity. The territory diverged from the mainland due to the long period of colonial administration and a differing pace of economic, social, and cultural development. Mainstream culture is derived from immigrants originating from various parts of China. This was influenced by British-style education, a separate political system, and the territory's rapid development during the late 20th century. Most incoming migrants were fleeing poverty and war, which is reflected in the way that people in Hong Kong today view wealth, tending to quite closely tie self-image and decision-making to material benefits. Traditional Chinese family values are prevalent among the population. These include preference for sons, family honor, and filial piety. Nuclear families are the most common households. But, multi-generational and extended family living arrangements are also not unusual. Spiritual concepts like feng shui are very seriously considered. Large-scale construction projects often hire consultants to ensure proper building positioning and layouts. The degree of adherence to feng shui is believed to determine the success of a business. Bagua mirrors are regularly used to deflect evil spirits, and buildings often lack floor numbers with a 4 in them. The number has a similar sound to the word for die in Cantonese.